Nancy, do you have to remake me a host because I dropped off for a minute there? So
All right, let me check. Let's see. No, I believe you're still on.
okay.
All right. So welcome to Lunch and Learn Zoom Friday. Today is Friday, April the 2nd. On behalf of Olivia Vo and myself, we want to welcome you to our Lunch and Learn Zoom Friday. And, I have really been enjoying watching everyone over the past 9 months. It's hard to believe. I've been saying this for the past couple of weeks, I guess, because Olivia and I started discussing it. It's hard to believe that we only started this thing the first week of June. We met last week of May, I think it was, or whatever. But anyways, we started this tribe, and it feels so good that when we are in all of these different networking groups and all of that stuff, to see familiar faces. I mean, it truly is an amazing thing that we've been able to build here. And it's you, it's not us. It's just wonderful that we know that we are truly filled with heart-centered entrepreneurs. And so one of the things that I've done is I've tried to really start focusing on how we want to end this fiscal year strong for the next couple of months. And so I went back, and I'll talk to you about a few things later on today. But, what is it exactly that we've built? And a new pitch that I put in last night, I want to share a few things with you, and then I want you to give me some feedback on your thoughts and then what we might could add to this. Because I always say, eagles don't hang out with turkeys, crows, and chickens. And some of the things that I said is, there's something magical that happens when a group of entrepreneurs get in the room together. And here's some of the things that I've said. If you're having a bad day, we provide encouragement. If you don't know where to start, don't know where to turn to, we've got some really great ideas and inspiration for you. If you're having a great week, we're going to celebrate together. If you need referrals, if you're looking for tools and resources, we got them. Maybe you're in a funk, maybe you've got a problem that needs solved, or maybe you just might need a kick in the pants. Whatever you need, we've got your back. We're your tribe. So that to me kind of encompasses what it is that we're trying to build. Yes, we want you to be successful. Yes, we want you to live the life of your dreams, whatever that looks like for each and every one of you. But I want this to be a safe place, but I want it to be an inspiring place. I want it to be where everybody can feel comfortable, where they love inviting people because they know we're going to be embracing them. And this is not going to be for everyone. So we don't want to just, let's just say, cast the net out. And I know I have some really big goals and some really big dreams for this group, but we want it to be the right people, because you all know that we have met people that are takers and not givers. We want this tribe to be reciprocal, and we want everybody in here to win. So I'm going to shut up. Olivia, I'm going to let you have the floor for just a minute and share some of your thoughts. And then just for about 5 minutes, I would really love to hear some ideas on what you think and the direction that we're going, if you like it, maybe if you think, some changes that need to be made, that type of thing.
Awesome. It's hard to believe, like this exact same time last year, I was like really depressed and in a funk because, my job just literally stopped. We weren't recruiting anymore and everybody was transitioning to remote, and we lost a lot of business and volume. And so I turned to online, because there's so many events. And I actually have to say I got suckered in to a lot of different things, a lot of different events. And so I'm so grateful I met with Nancy because, she and I sort of had a similar vision for what we wanted to have for a business entrepreneurship platform or networking, that was heart centered. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been looking for, because everybody else out there just seemed to like, just want to get your business, right? And not have a true spirit of collaboration. So I'm so grateful I met you and Debbie to come together and form this. And I think what we've got here is really special. And, I was doing a launch yesterday and I invited a ton of people, and the people that showed up were my tribe members. So I really appreciate, all of you that were there last night for my event. And I just like goes to show me like, wow, like I built some amazing relationships with all of you, and that we see each other, every week on the dot, 12:30 here in the Zoom room. And it's so nice to have that relationships, because there's other networking events you can go to, you kind of pop in, pop out. But unless you have a home base, I think that's what really matters. And I think, it's time that we share this with other people. Many of us I think myself, I was feeling kind of protective. I didn't want any new people, but now, there's a need for this sort of group and platform to come together. And so anything that you guys can do, just to say, hey, I'd love to invite you just to check us out, have a home base, right? I think that's the key word. There's plenty of networking events, networking groups you can join, but to have a true home base, let us be that for you.
Thank you. Anybody else? And we're open for constructive criticism. So don't think you're going to hurt our feelings, because we've got thick skin. We can take it. We'll just like delete you out of the room. No problem. You got that boot out button, Richard, going in case somebody says something bad?
I do.
Okay.
If I can just say that, just like Olivia mentioned, things were going dead, going down. And this group helped me out with some of those things I didn't have time for. Getting my spiel, the 30-second, the 60-second, the 90. Oh my God. Okay. So I got wonderful ideas. I tweaked it every time. So the feedback for me was wonderful, of you coming into my home and helping me out with this, because I just had a vision. I'm just like, I'm in business, why do I need all this other stuff, And then I didn't realize, I guess I kind of did need it, because every place you look there, you've got to tweak in that 30-second, that 60, that 90 or whatever. But what I appreciate is the times that we do have some of the speakers in, so, to further on, and the hints and tips you guys give. Some of you, we're all in different areas, and some of you use certain apps, and some of you use different types of websites for different things. And to me, that was just amazing, because I'd go check those out and say, oh yeah, I could use that too, in a different way. So I really appreciate it. The camaraderie. And yeah, Olivia, I know when I go someplace, I'm like, oh, I know that person. Ooh. You get excited. I know that eagle. It's all right. And Nancy's constant, hey, y'all got to get going. We got to do some business. Show me the money. Okay, get me a vision. I love it. I really do. And because for a while there, I thought I was going to go crazy because I couldn't travel. I'm in Germany 2 to 3 times a year. Oh my gosh, I'm stuck at home. What do you mean? Well, now it was Fridays. So thank you for the Fridays. I look forward to, because I knew I was going to either advance, get to meet somebody new, or learn something new, or just have somebody to go spurt out something if I'm having an issue. So thank you. I do appreciate the vision, and not that I'm that much into the Bitcoin and stuff. I'm learning, so I'm like, yeah, okay. Get me on
that's
that.
Just a side. Yeah, that's just a side right. thing that we, and we'll be having different types of projects. It's just this quarter we're, focusing on that.
And that's how we're all learning. I'm loving it.
That reminded me something you said right there that Olivia and I have got tickled over, that we love. We've never asked you to do it, but to show you what kind of people we have inside this group, I would bet 99.9% of you, when you can't make it on Friday, you send one of us a note and you tell us that. We've never asked you to do that, but we have been in awe and amazed. And so for that tells us, you appreciate, what we're doing, and you feel the loss, when you know that you can't be here. So I just want to say thank you for that. As well. Anybody else? And this is not meant to be a cheerleading session. This is truly meant to be, tell us your feedback. What would you like to see us do? If you have not been on the schedule for a featured speaker, this is like, you can do a 5-minute or a 10-minute presentation. You really need to practice, because no matter what type of business you're going to be in, you're going to have to do some public speaking. So this would be a perfect space for you to come in here and practice and share something of your expertise. So don't be scared. Any of us will be more than happy to help you with that, put some structure together or whatever, but we really want you to get in here and practice, because we know you have gifts and talents. more so than what you've been promoting in here. And why not get it out there and just get that fear factor over? Anybody else?
I'd like
Yes.
to say something to Juanita. And Juanita, I don't know where you're at with your travel business, because I know things are still pretty crazy out there. But have you thought about putting together a virtual trip for people to participate in that would like to go somewhere but haven't, like with videos and pictures, and you're their tour guide through it?
Actually, I've done that class for the snowbirds. So I did that for the snowbirds class, and I had, for about 6 weeks. So each time I took them somewhere else and did that. But, I sat there and I thought, oh, maybe I could do that on another time, and just, I guess, online and just for anybody. So
Yeah, you could have like a virtual travel club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do like an event every month, and charge a fee for it.
You can
And
go
there
to
you
Germany.
go. Yeah,
You think people would pay for that?
I do.
I do.
We're sitting at home, nobody needing, we can test the market, do a split test and see. Yes, Balbir.
So you could actually, we did this at the weekend. It was a virtual wine tasting, and they shipped us all the different wines, and they were from Italy, and a whole bunch of cheeses and crackers and everything. And we sat there and we tasted just like they were showing us, do this,
Yes.
snippets, whatever. You could show us what wines that they have in Germany. You could say, okay, now go and get this, this, and this. And then you charge us for all, for your expertise in the tasting and the regions and things like that.
Multiple
I've been
streams
looking
of
for a
income.
company. I've been looking for a company that I could deal up with, where they would send it to you and then I could do the trip. So, but yeah, okay.
Well, there's that wine club that I was telling you about. We've got,
Yeah.
I know there's some people out there that have that in their direct sales. I don't know the extent because I've not looked at it, but I know in Laurel's group they had one. So I'm
Yes.
sure that there's something for that. Go ahead, Stevie.
I was just going to say, I already have a customer if you do that, Juanita, because I know people that have a hard time mingling and go on like cruises, and then everybody knows everybody and they feel like, oh, I haven't met everyone. So it's a great way for you to help people that feel that way. Maybe they aren't as easily able to integrate to the group, but if you start having these clubs virtually, then they get to meet friends ahead of the trip, and people would really like that.
Okay. Love the encouragement.
Yes. There you go, Gary.
Yeah, follow that up with an actual trip. Put together a package where after they've seen it virtually, if they want to go see it for, in real, put that trip together and they can join that trip as another way to boost your actual business.
Yeah, and you could use us, you could come, you could do something, put it together, and then have the referral partners come on and take us through it. And, people will be able to give you their thoughts and, what works, what doesn't work, and all of that, and help you tweak it.
I tell you, one of the things, I'm gonna let Barry say something here in just a minute. He just posted something interesting. But I've been wanting to go out to wine country, out to Sonoma, and all of that. And that would be a great Eagles trip once the pandemic goes or whatever. And how cool would that be for us to have an event to go out there? And you don't have to like wine, folks, believe it or not. It's just a fun trip, I'm sure, with the cheese and different things that you can have something else. Barry, you want to share what you had just shared?
You're muted.
I better go off of mute, right? First of all, I've got a couple people that do the wine, and I'll check that out and some of the other events that I do. But my wife has a group of 6 that take at least one wine trip a year. Now, here's the thing. You don't ever want to follow wherever they took their trip, because there ain't no grapes left, I promise you, right? But they've been out to California, they've been to New Mexico, they've been to Niagara Falls, up at the lakes of Niagara, they've been to Italy, they've been to Spain, they've been to France. You could do that, girl. No
Well,
question.
I do a vineyard tour in August and September. I do the beer fest. So maybe I just need to tweak it and really, I guess, advertise it and get folks to come in.
Yes,
Can't promise, but I'll definitely put it on to the girls.
there you go. There you
And
go.
So you guys,
Yeah, Nancy, I'm going to butt in here.
Go ahead.
A personal problem.
Yes,
You talk. I'm joking. You
I can
talked
take it.
about the presentation thing. Can you say a little more about that? I've been doing presentations for over 50 years for different companies and events, and yes, for Melaleuca. But how would I do that now, given that's my focus? I don't want to take I can do, you and I know what I can do in a one-to-one. Let me tell you about Melaleuca, and but it's actually looking at maybe being a customer. But I can do a 5, 7, 10-minute presentation that is the company, and all I'll say at the end is, if you're interested, set up an appointment, but not do it as a pitch. So
Right.
tell me a little more about that.
Well, there's a variety of different ways that we can do that you've been seeing what we've been doing. We want to make sure that everybody in the room is getting something from it. So it's some type of enrichment, educational. We want to all be able to walk away with something new or validate something that we already knew, to remind us. So you could give us, background on Melaleuca. We could poll the audience, see how many people know anything about Melaleuca ahead of time. You know what I'm saying? We can do these polls within Zoom ahead of time for anybody who wants to speak, so we can kind of get some feedback from the group, and that would help you craft your speech. If everybody already knew all the background about Melaleuca, then maybe we would want to focus on something else, or maybe, the benefits of using your products, some of those things, or health and wellness. Some of the things that you have shared with us are amazing. You talk about that. So there's a variety of ways that we can do it. We just don't want it to be one big pitch fest in here. We want you to be able to educate us. And then if we want to know more, we'll set up an appointment. You can do a call to action, and you can make an irresistible offer. That's part of it. We want you to practice that, but it gives you a little bit longer time, in a setting, so that when those other type of opportunities come available, you're going to feel real comfortable in doing that. Does anybody have any ideas for Barry on what he might do?
Well, I'm just thinking I could put together a PowerPoint, maybe send it to you and Olivia. You can figure out the words that are going to go with it, but you'll be able to see what I'm going to do ahead of time, kind of thing. Right? Because I remember when when Juanita did hers, and yes, it was about the business that she does and what we could all get out of it. And all it did is tweak God, I'd love to take a trip that she provided. That was the bottom line that I got from it, because who wouldn't?
Right.
So thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, no problem. Anybody else?
And Barry, I've been meaning to talk to you because I'm doing these lunchtime live. So that's also another opportunity for all of you to practice your presentation skills. And I love the story that you shared about how one of the Melaleuca products, helped you with your diabetes. And so I could bring you on just to talk about that. And I'm a Melaleuca customer, so I could talk about my favorite products. And that could be a very subtle way to kind of get you and your name out there.
Thank
Yes,
you.
and Miss Lori Scott was one of your featured live people the other day.
Yeah, Lori was
Congratulations on that. Yeah.
And Richard was my very first inaugural guest too. So.
Oh, and you know what? Forgot to mention when we started, happy belated birthday. I told you that last night. If y'all have not given him a big happy birthday, hope you're still celebrating. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. It's always fun. And the other thing is, I know Claudio is out helping his daughter get moved into their place. And then I hope you saw Sarah Bazan and Bruce is out in Reno, and they put a picture on there. I thought that was really cool that he posted. They're out there for the Laurel Langmeyer men. I'm not sure if anybody else in our tribe is out there right now, but I know they are. So I can't wait to get a full report. He always comes back and shares with us. And so that was very exciting. Does anybody else have any questions about what you might do to present or any ideas for the upcoming year on what you would like to see us do differently or add or anything? We do want to continue the pitches because we think that is very, very important. And that kind of is the core of how we started this thing. And so we were thinking at least one time a month for sure that is all we are going to focus on. And that's it. I mean, we come in here, everybody knows that's going to be pitch day and we're going to pitch. We'll go into our breakout rooms and get feedback on that. And yes, Juanita.
Say, just in case, if we maybe, you know, how some of us come on early or something. One of my other groups does this. And you know how Olivia's got us started with these videos. Maybe before we open up for business, we could play everybody, if everybody has some kind of a little video, you know, or a little thingy, you could play those before the actual meeting starts. I don't know.
Hold that thought, Juanita.
Funny, you should bring that up one.
Funny.
Okay.
Don't say nothing, Olivia. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Richard, we're going to go ahead and let you go, and then we're going to hop right in. Great minds.
Well, even in the sense of training, I mean, Olivia's doing such an awesome job with the LinkedIn, but I mean, it's getting a bigger audience. So if she was able to do little 5-minute snippets here and there with LinkedIn on this platform, again, it refreshes people too, to what you're doing. I mean, we need constant training with that to keep a profile. So just, you could do a training every couple months or whatever it is, just to, again, here's something else, another tip. And again, refreshes our mind how to use that platform, because it's a big platform for all of us.
Yes. Okay. Now then, today, what we're going to do.
I got a quickie.
Yeah, go ahead.
Or maybe somebody like Sarah Balling who coaches pitching, have her on as a guest.
Yes.
And give us maybe 15 minutes or something like that.
She was here. As a matter of fact, I believe she came a couple of times or whatever, and she did give us some training. The problem with our lunchtime is it's in the middle of the night, or, you know, the time difference is not good for her, but we may be able to go ahead and get her back for that. I'm trying to remember what the time difference was, but I know that was an issue, but she did agree to come in. And she gave us that wonderful handout and all that, and love her. I mean, she's absolutely brilliant, amazing. And I'll try and get some of her links also, because she does some copies that's really neat. But that is kind of one of our core things that we want to do. And with that, last night, Miss Olivia had her launch for her video social. So I'm going to turn this over to her, and we're going to get a little taste of what happened last night and how we might be able to participate. And she and I are still brainstorming on how we can pull this in with Lunch and Learn. But go ahead, Olivia.
So yeah, so I've been part of this platform called Video Socials, and what it is a video blogging community. So every week on a set day and time, we just come together, and for an hour, we just go around the room and practice taking turns doing our videos, and then you're done. It's fun and done. That's our motto. And so last night we did a club launch for the 6 p.m. time slot, because we don't have that time slot currently. So I volunteered to champion that forward. And many of you were on there last night. And that's exactly what we did. We went around the room, and guess what? Someone else was pushing the record button for you. So there was none of this. How's my lighting? How do I sound? You know, where's the record button? It's just, you literally just have to prepare something and speak. And we took care of all the technology. And the other cool part too is that sometimes when you're by yourself and doing videos, no one wants to do that. I mean, that's not very motivating. But when you've got an audience that you can speak to, and you can see your friendly face, it just makes it that much better. You're not talking to a blinking black dot anymore. And so I really love video socials. I'm looking to make this, you know, kind of an extended club for all of us. So if you missed it last night, I will be having another session again next Thursday, April 8th at 6 p.m. Eastern. And I think we've got some sample videos to share with someone. All right, so there's, what was the setting again? If I share my screen and share the video clip, how do I get the volume to match?
If you have two things open, you need to turn off the one, or you'll have to make sure that your setting is on the one. That's the problem that we had before.
Okay, all right, so it's in video editor. So before I pull that up, let me just give you in the chat box, to turn your attention to the chat box, I'm going to include this EASM's feedback model. So let me put this in the chat for you. So one of the things we do in video socials, which is also really cool, is that once the person records the video, we unmute and we clap. So it's part of that positive reinforcement. We clap for each other, and then we assign a person to actually give feedback. And the model that we follow is called EASM. So we're asking you, you know, how is their energy level? How is their appearance? Okay, are there things that they could improve upon? How is their structure? Are their thoughts in logical order? Are their phrases clear and easy to understand? Is it memorable? And then is it ready to share? Okay, so that would be some of the criteria that we would use to kind of help us with giving each other feedback. So I put that, and I'm going to share my screen now. Let's see here. All right, so we all know who this is. This is Gary, and hopefully you guys can hear the volume. I've got the volume way up. Okay, and then let's see.
What kind of impact did 2020 have on your career? Hi, my name is Gary Sosmer. I'm a career ownership coach. Are you looking for a new career? Maybe you've been.
Hey, Olivia, can you restart that over, go out and come back in? It's a little garbly. And what you may have to do is just pull it up out of your email and just click it from there. Not sure, but it was pretty unclear.
Okay, because from the email, I don't think it will work because I tried that earlier.
And make sure that when you start it, you push share sound, and that
Share
will
sound.
put it, and that'll put it through in the lower left-hand corner when you hit
Lower
your
left.
share screen.
Share sound, okay.
See it in the lower left-hand corner?
Okay, and then share sound.
Yep.
Aha, share sound, okay.
Click go. Click go.
What kind of impact did 2020 have on your career? Hi, my name is Gary Sosmore, and I'm a career ownership coach. Are you looking for a new career? Maybe you've been displaced by the pandemic. Maybe you're just frustrated or dissatisfied with the career you currently have. I would like to help you get from your career 1.0 to your career 2.0, making things better for you along the way. I would like to engage with you to talk you through some different ideas about what a career makes. Let's look at your goals, your needs, and your expectations and see how we can turn those into that new career you're looking for. If you're interested, give me a call and we'll sit down and talk about your goals, your needs, your expectations, and then we'll go on a path of discovery to help you get information, all the information you can possibly need to make a well-informed choice about what you want for your future career. Give me a call.
Okay, so thank you, Gary, for volunteering that with us.
I gotta tell you, that was much easier than I thought it was gonna be when I did it. So it is a lot more relaxed and a lot easier to go through in something like we did last night than in a lot of other places I've been.
So Juanita, if you were watching Gary's video, what kind of feedback would you give him based on our ESMS model?
So I love the information about self and the coaching and things. But Gary, I don't know. I need you to do work on a background. I don't know. I'm that person that it's like, okay, I know you got a nice clean wall there and I see the pictures and stuff. I need you to have something positive back there. I don't know. It doesn't have to be flamboyant or anything. Even your logo or something in the corner, or do you have a big picture of something or a big quilt or something you could hang up over there behind you?
Yeah, I've got backgrounds that I typically use. For that, I didn't have anything up. And
I'm not saying the green screen thing, but yeah, if you have a real big picture back there, I put one big picture and it doesn't have to cover, but just a corner. I just need something else there. That white wall's getting me. That's just me.
Okay, one thing I noticed as well on that compared to today, that orange shirt really shines up nice with the background, and you had a white shirt and then your white hair and that white background. And I did not notice that last night, but today I did because you're contrasted and it shows up really nice today. So that would be,
there you go. Yeah, because today that orange is kicking.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to get in that colors program.
There you go. Well, orange is good for you. It looks really good.
It is.
Yeah.
It brings color to your cheeks, Gary, when you wear
Yeah. All right, go ahead and go on down. Oh, shut up. Sorry, Olivia. Go ahead.
No, that was fantastic. So that is just exactly what we did last night. And, Gary can take this now and he can trim it, right? And utilize it for a LinkedIn for his featured or put on Facebook. He can, you saw there's the brander logo at the end of the image. So he can upload, some contact information or his phone number, etc., for people to get in touch with him. And so you can put this on video, YouTube library, but it's just, let's just get it done.
Yeah. And I love the fact that they shared those keys for you to really take a look at. Our pitch is a little bit different and we talk about different things, but this gives us a few specific things really to look for. Not everybody is, all over the map like Nancy Gaskins in your face. And one of the things that I love that I mentioned last night about Gary is he has a very calming personality. He's very personable, friendly, and warm. And sometimes it's hard to convey that over video. And I think Gary does a really great job with that structure. He kind of led us through. And again, sometimes we get messed up we say something and then it gets out of order and it doesn't make logical sense. So you really need to watch that when you're doing these videos, because they really need to be short. It doesn't need to be a very long, you can do longer ones later. And those are what we call webinars or, a little bit longer topics, but these need to be kind of, really short snippet ideas. And I believe were these a minute, Olivia, last night, minute or 2 minutes?
Yeah.
And
so
then
general, we give everyone like about up to 2 minutes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then is it memorable? What about that is going to make people remember you? Because you want to be memorable, right? And you don't have to be an extrovert to be memorable. And a lot of people have that thought in their minds, especially when it comes to the videos. And then is it ready to share? Do you think this is something good? Like my problem last night, I had an issue because I had a stupid pop-up that keeps on popping up on my computer screen and it gets right in the way and I can't move it out of the way. It's an Adobe pop-up and I have tried everything. I've listened to what everybody says. I've Googled it. And so I was literally reading, from my new pitch paper that was kind of down and you could really see my eyes reading. And again, it happened again this morning, but Gary didn't see any of that with you. It looked really great. As far as that. So I would say, he's ready to go. Do you have another one that you're going to share today?
Muted.
You are on mute.
Kay, did you have something?
Yeah, the only thing I loved everything you said. I thought it was done really well. The only thing is I never once saw you look at us. So that's one of the hardest things that I'm discovering on Zoom, that you have to look past your camera at all times, and you can't look at anybody that's there in order for them to see you looking at them.
That is tough. The other thing that I want to share that I shared with Gary last night also was the call to action. Sometimes we get in there and we do a call to action, then we remember something else that we're going to say, and we start talking again, and then we kind of just like do another little small call to action. Let's come up with, you know, an irresistible offer, and then bam, do that call to action and then end it. And one of the really cool things about our video social is you can also add your contact information, your phone number, whatever it is that you want on there. So you don't necessarily have to say that, but you need to tell the listener what it is that you want them to do, whatever that is. You know, it could be something very simple. You know, you can, you know, do your hashtag, depending on where you're going to put this video as well. But anyways, I thought, you know, there's some really great opportunities for this video socials. Go ahead, Olivia.
Yeah, so Gary's was kind enough to volunteer that with us. And I think the idea too is that the club that I'm starting is 6 o'clock on Thursday nights. And if you can't make it, there's other club, you know, that you can go to throughout the day, throughout the week, right? And the point is to get in that habit. I think that video is a skill. And, you know, the more you work on it, the more you practice it, you're just going to become better at it. And video is not a one-time thing and done. You can repurpose your videos. I think so often people get it, okay, it's done, it's there, that's it. No, you want to repost that as many times as possible, to Richard's point, for visibility, reach new audiences, because not everyone's going to see it at the same time when you post it originally.
And using that as
Olivia, it sounds like you have to do multiple events because we want to do it with you.
If you do it with me, then it's Thursdays at 6 o'clock. That is like my standing time.
Where? Olivia, where?
If you look in the chat box, I put in the video social club.olivia/.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
Thank you.
so sign up and RSVP.
And Richard, I wanted to give Richard kudos because he did a different pitch last night and it was wonderful. And, you know, several of us have heard his pitch, you know, multiple times. We know what he does and all of that stuff, but it was something different. And we all talked about how wonderful it was. Kate also did hers. And we had Miss Tax Remedy. She came on and did hers, and she did a wonderful job as well. So everybody did a really great job last night. And Olivia, this is really cool that you're doing. And thank you for bringing that to our group. And again, we'll be talking about how we might can incorporate more of this in here, because you made mention last night that LinkedIn is kind of adding this. So it's not just for Facebook, you know, we might, you know, we've got our YouTube channels, you know, I can put you on our YouTube channels, you know, all of these things. We want to make sure we're getting your name out there and promoting you as much as possible. Any closing remarks on that, Olivia?
Nope. So the next club date is again Thursday, April 8th. So join us.
All right.
For 1 hour.
1 hour. Yep.
Thank you so much.
And you know, we started on time, we finished on time, and that's the other part that I really appreciate. Because we're coming with an intention, we're coming with a purpose, and we're getting it done. And you know, it's hard to get feedback, but when we're taking turns, you know, being assigned to give that person feedback, I think it's very, very helpful and empowering.
Yes. And then within the hour, you'll get that. I'm not sure that's always the case, but within the hour, we were able to, they sent us our video. So that was neat as well. Yeah.
Amazing.
All right.
I gotta say, if you're recording the video and I do it, I am not allowed to put a video out on social media. So I'll work with you, but please do not publish it anywhere.
Yeah, it's up to you. I mean, it's
I
just,
got no choice. I'll be shut down.
yeah. Once
We
you
aren't
do
in
the
that
video,
business.
it's sent to your email privately, and then it's yours to do what they want. I mean, they don't post on your behalf unless you tell them to.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to move along right quick to our table topic for today. And that table topic is going to be accountability. one of the things that I really want to promote in this group is we want to see if we are bringing you value. And the only way that we know that we're bringing you value is if we track that. And so I want to have a little discussion. Here are some thoughts that I had, and then we'll want you to expound on that. Okay. Number one, we're talking connections. How many new connections have you made due to this group? How many sales have you made with this group? How many collaborations? All of these things I want us to start tracking. And I don't want this to turn into a nightmare situation, but I really want us to come up with some logical, feasible way that we can track how well we're doing. And one of the things today is I want us to go around the room and I want you to tell us one thing that you would like to accomplish during the month of May. Number two, how will we know whether you've truly accomplished that thing? And number three, how can we help you reach that goal? And I'm going to give you an example from myself. For the month of April, I would like for us to have 100 regular attendees to the Lunch and Learn Zoom Friday every Friday. 100. Number two, how will we know that this will be accomplished? Well, when you come in here and you see 100 people attending, you'll know we've reached our goal. Number three, how can you help me achieve this goal? By inviting at least one person every week to join us for free to test us out. Again, I know this is not going to be everybody's cup of tea. We always know that not everybody can join on Friday. Sometimes they can, sometimes they can't. One of the goals that we have is to offer this at different times and different days of the week throughout the month. So as we grow, that's what we're wanting to do. So that's kind of the format that I would like for us to take. And then in the chat, put your one goal for April in there. And that way we'll have a record of today, April the 2nd. This is what I said I wanted to accomplish during the month of April. So Gary, we'll start with you. What is something that you would like to accomplish this month?
Something that I've recently started, and I would like to project that further into this, is that referral. I would like to get referrals, but I would also like to give referrals. And recently, I've been able to do a couple of referrals just from people that I ran across who needed certain things. As far as how we can know that, that's something that, I don't know, might be a little more difficult. Unless we have, some type of newsletter type thing or something like that, where we can put that information in there and, show it that way. But I would like to get one new referral at least this month from someone in this group.
Okay. Anybody have any ideas for Gary?
Let's put a number on that, Gary. How many referrals?
Well,
and maybe a little bit more specific on what type of referral and who that person is and what you'd be looking for.
Sure. Anybody who would be looking for a coach for a career type thing, somebody potentially who's unemployed, or somebody that just isn't happy with their career right now. Maybe a friend, maybe the wife of a friend or something like that. Somebody that that you think could benefit from going through that coaching process and learning more about opportunities for careers for them in the future.
Anybody else? Any ideas for Gary? Gary, this can be anywhere, right? You're not stuck with, even though you're here in Pensacola, you are all over, right?
I'm all over. I'm actually global, so I work with people in other countries as well. So, it's wide open.
All right. I'll give you a few minutes for y'all to think. Are you trying to say something, Priscilla?
No, I was just shaking my head.
Okay,
I just-
all right.
I have a-
Jeff, do you have anything for, I'm sorry, Richard, was you going to say something?
Yeah, just, I mean, actually, this is where actually Olivia, because on LinkedIn, I think a lot of people are in that transition stage as well. So maybe just even learning how to search in there. I know it's a pretty functional platform and we know how to use it. So
Do use a lot of LinkedIn and that kind of thing. And honestly, I get fairly good results from that. But again, a personal referral, I think trumps the LinkedIn reach out.
yeah.
Okay, Jeff, you want to share your goal for April?
Sure. So my goal is I'm typing it into the chat here. So is to schedule 5 Zoom coffee chats with this group. How it will be tracked is actually getting a scheduled meeting. And how can I help? How can people help is just reach out to me and say, hey, let's do a coffee chat. But on a side note, I want to add to that is my other goal is to get 3 to 5 new peeps who will actually show up to the Friday Lunch and Learn, because I've invited a number of people. I've had a couple show up, but my goal is to really have 3 to 5 new people show up this month.
I had a question because Jeff, you're really good about bringing people, and I'm noticing they'll come the first time, but they don't come the second time. Why do you think that is? Or is there something that we can entice them?
So that's really a great question, Olivia. I've reached out to 2 so far, asking, for them if they're interested in coming back, but I haven't heard back from them. So, but I'm kind of, playing with the words and the verbiage on reaching back to them. So, but that's a really good point. And that's something that probably is something good to do for all of us is if we're inviting people to this, they're not showing up. Maybe it is Friday, but try to follow up and see what the issue is. And and Nancy, you would probably know better than anybody, or Olivia too, or Debbie. People who are invited to this but can't make it on a Friday, are there many that watch the replay that you're aware of?
We're working on that right now. I'm trying to get that YouTube channel kind of straightened up a little bit so that we can really start promoting that. I have been posting it just to try and get people interested in looking at that. And just so everyone knows, anybody who registers, whether they attend or not, I do a follow-up email. Those that do attend, I also do a follow-up email, invite them to come and, meet with me or come again, because, we think that, 2 times you'll know whether we're a good fit or not. And then we've had a couple people that try to sneak in and, try and go over their time. And I'm very, if people have trouble coming up with money and all that, I've worked with some people on that. I don't have a problem with doing that if they want to join, but just somebody hanging out and keep on coming month after month after month and not paying and, paying their dues and just coming in and trying to, again, get instead of give. That's not what we're about. We want you to do business. And we're thinking by the time you have 2 things here, you might have been able to do some business enough to pay for your membership, because we do want it to be affordable. And so I am open again for any ideas, and if y'all come up with anything, be honest with us and let us know. Again, we know this is not for everybody. We want to make sure that we're attracting the right kind of people, but we do need to grow. So thank you. Thank you for that. Who would like to share their goal instead of me just picking on you? Anybody? Go ahead, Priscilla.
Okay. Yes, my goal is to get better at LinkedIn. And I do have a meeting with Olivia at the end of this month. So, because I know that by learning these platforms, it will help you, with your business and getting back with people. Because sometimes I get notifications through LinkedIn from people, other business owners, and I don't really know what to do. Sometimes I'm afraid to respond because I don't know what to say. So that's going to be my goal for April. And the way that you'll know that I'm being somewhat successful is in May when you see that I complete my LinkedIn information.
Very good.
So
So I think this would be great, you know, the first week of May, that first week, that's what we, you know, come in here and we talk about the goals for the previous month, where did we hit them? What are some struggle areas or whatever? And, you know, one thing about it, it's scary to open up your mouth in here, even though we know each other and love each other, to verbalize it. But y'all, that's the first step. You need to say and put it out in the universe what you want to attract in your life. I mean, it's been amazing. One of the things that Olivia showed was her dream book from way back when. I can do the same thing. I look and we realize, I mean, what, didn't you have eagles on there or something, Olivia? There was some other things. I mean, totally clueless a year ago and 2 years ago, ever what that was that she brought. And I love seeing that manifestation. So the first step, don't be afraid. You know what? You're always going to miss 100% of the shots you never take. So put it out there, what you want, and let us know what we can do to help you. Yes, Barry.
Yeah, I'm going to embarrass Priscilla here. We had a meeting the other day, and I've been a Legal Shield customer for well over a decade. And I've done that with Belbeer too. And I promote her and her passion for taking care of females. I don't know how you say it, ladies, women, females, but her passion for that. And I refer her that way a lot on my networking. But what I found out from Priscilla 2 days ago was y'all in Legal Shield can take care of brick and mortar business owners, and we can refer you, and I'm going to say you and Belbeer, but I actually referred you yesterday. We can refer you to people beyond what I even knew, being a loyal customer of Legal Shield for over a decade. So do these one-to-ones, but also get out there and promote. You know, what she told me was, yeah, the brick and mortar, but guess what? If they have the Legal Shield as a customer, their employees can then get a discounted rate on being Legal Shield customers themselves. So it's not just the business. I never knew that. So keep on sharing, girlfriend.
There you go. Let's
Okay.
do a screenshot right quick. I forgot to do that. Everybody look at the camera. 3, 2, 1. All right. Who else would like to share their goal for April? Go ahead, Kay.
My goal, Miss Olivia.
A lot of business coming your way this month, Olivia.
Her and I have been trying to connect, but my commitments and her availability have really been clashing. But some of my commitments are coming to an end. So I'm going to go back and look at our string, because I went on Canva. My goal is obviously to get my LinkedIn up to speed. I think I started it in 2012 and it's never changed. So anyway, and I went back to look at the settings and I go, like, I don't even know what any of these mean. So I'm clueless at even how to set up the backside of it. And so that's my number one goal, is to do that. And I've also had on my bucket list doing the one-to-ones and getting to know everybody within this community. And so
Yes, that's a great idea.
yeah.
That's been one of, I mean, my most privileged things when I met with you for 15 minutes in the beginning to get to know you. I mean, it really started off our relationship, I think, on a really great note. And I encourage each one of you to make sure that you're doing that. Love that, Kay. So we will know that you have been successful by looking at your LinkedIn profile. So when you pull that up, first week of May, it's going to be done, right?
If I can get with her, yes. Yes. I'm working, I'm like doing things, but so.
Okay.
No,
Belbeer, do you have something that you want to share?
when?
Well, my goal is to post weekly, primarily LinkedIn. And I'm struggling with what to post. Olivia helped me out 2 weeks ago. And this week I posted what I said last week. So, but I felt naked out there when I posted that. It was a bit too close to the heart. So I don't know whether I'll do that again. But if anybody sees any great posts, any great news that would be I would, love the help with
Well,
that.
I could recommend that you would take a different topic that Legal Shield handles, but put a personal touch to it. For example, your situation with divorce, and how you did that. Okay. Think about, or even if you have to make up a story about somebody not having their will done versus somebody who did have their will done. I can tell you one right now. There is a prominent orthopedic surgeon in my hometown that just passed away that was a gazillionaire. And when I say that, I mean that literally. And he had a live-in girlfriend that was pregnant. She had a prenup because they were planning on, or maybe whatever, getting married. Well, guess what? He passed away suddenly 2 weeks ago, and they found out that prenup was not done correctly. And there's a big deal because he had this big multi-million-dollar medical facility that has barely been going for a year. So, I mean, the whole estate, even though he's got all these great, talented professionals around him, they didn't do it right. And so it's a big mess right now. So it's got everybody up in the air. So those type of things, depending on who it is that you're trying to reach out to, whether it's the single moms, if you want to go with the mom category, talk about the different things, and really make that resonate and be personal. And then that way you're going to attract that particular person. Or if you want to do the businesses, whatever, you can change it up. But that's what I would do. I would do a couple of minute videos and target someone specifically with a really good story, Valbir.
Yeah, and because it's not just older women, it's young moms with babies that haven't even considered doing a will because, when we're young, we're, impervious, right? We're going to live.
We think so.
Whatever, but once kids are on the way, everything changes. Like she said, pick a topic, and because you'll have a target age group for each one of those topics as well, although some of them I know encompass several age groups, but
and go look at your testimonial pages. I'm sure y'all got a ton of testimonials. Just tweak the names and stories and make them your own.
And Valbir and Priscilla, I would also say use current events. There's all these big things, some of these movie stars and things that are happening. Use some of those current events and just use a snippet, and then you can always link them back to the actual story, but say, you don't want this to happen to you. Look what happened here. They didn't have this ready or that ready. And so just use some of the current events. Those are the things people are looking at. But, for example, I want to use Gary too. I don't know if he comes up with some of his sayings, but I'm quite sure that Legal Shield has some kind of a marketing photos or pictures that they use. Sometimes you can tweak them to what you need them to say. It's not hard to do that. But like Gary has these interesting sayings sometimes. It's like, oh, I never thought about that, And so, not just, but any of the subjects matters that you're using. Use current events, use people's stories, and link it to, I just look for stuff that's got anything to do with, that goes back to what you're selling. Anything that's a joint story. And people love those stories, but don't bore them to death. And it's a big, long thing because they're not going to read. Get that big headline, get that LinkedIn formatter with those things that Olivia shared to make it bold and italic. That works too. That gets their attention. But look for those current events and just have those. It's like that headline, on those terrible newspapers, but you get them caught up and say, oh, I never thought about that. But the current events will help you out quite a bit.
Olivia just posted something in the chat, and I wanted to say, when we first got together, you had told me about setting up those keyword alerts. And I set those up for, virtual marketplaces and several different ones. I get those sent to my email every single day. And that way I don't have to do the work. So anything that you're interested in, you can set those up, and anything that has to do with what your keywords are will come right straight to your mailbox. So anyway, that's a great point. I'm glad you mentioned that. Lori and Richard, do you have some things we need to move along here, because I want to
Yeah,
let
I do,
Stevie
and
do
I
hers.
only have a couple more minutes, so I'll jump in. I have a
Okay.
client coming in. Yeah, and I have missed you guys. Thanks for your patience. I have to say, on one level, I feel like my business is getting deeper entrenched, like I'm getting through all these different layers of what this business is. So it seems to be settling a little bit. So I'm pretty excited about that. With that said, my target for April is I'm on Now site, and I've signed up for Mailbox Power, and to get those campaigns going to target Denver, my local Colorado area, so that we can concentrate on that. But so that's been a learning curve for me. So that's my target, to get those babies out there for April, and because it is the season for me, it's the gardening season. So I'm feeling more confident in my presentation.
How will we know that you've accomplished that?
I suppose it's me just popping into the Facebook page, or because I don't know how you would know. Just me
Well,
being
when you put, are you putting ads? Tell us about in the chat, put those resources that you just told us about.
okay.
And maybe that's something that you can show us, that you put an ad out, or you've got something and a product listed on there or something like that, because we need to have a tangible. Anytime you set a goal, that's why I'm having you to go through these little steps, is it needs to be very clear that a child could understand. So you're going to get those up. So we should see some evidence whether you've been able to do that or not.
Okay. Oops, mailbox. All right.
All right. Thank you. Richard, do you have something for April?
Yes, I'm actually, because I'm a scattercat, I have trouble staying on target, but I'm going to do 2 LinkedIn posts a week. So, and I'll tag maybe Olivia and you and a few other people, and Lori. So at least you can see them from there. I'm trying to make it obviously to my coaching as well. And I want to do 5 one-on-ones, because I'm in another Jennifer Beals group too, in a sense, and the one-on-ones have been very important to help people get to know you, because we've all got our story. So I'll reach out to some people, maybe Gary, if you and I would like to meet, and Jeff, happy to have one-on-ones with you guys and share, because again, we've all got something to add, and I'm open to collaboration as well.
And I don't know if you heard me earlier, but I gave you some kudos on how well you did on your new pitch last night. We really,
Thank you.
I love that. That was excellent. Okay. Did I miss anybody besides Stevie, which I'm fixing to give her the floor here just a second. All right. So Stevie, tell us about your event, and we're going to let you go ahead and practice, and we've got time so we can give you some feedback.
Awesome. Okay, so I am in the International Toastmasters competition. So I'm going to give you my speech that I'm doing, which is my keynote that I use when speaking. So my goal for April is to speak 1 place per week. And how will you know? I'll have to report to the group if I did it or not. All right, I'm going to set my timer here so I can pay attention to my time, because it's a timed event. All right, give me 1 second.
What's the category, Stevie? What category are you competing in?
International.
But is there a category for the topic of the speech?
No, you only have 2 categories that are in international competition this time. It's international speech competition or evaluations.
Okay.
So I'm in the international speech competition.
All virtual? It's a virtual Toastmasters?
The competition this year has to be virtual on Zoom because of COVID. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, what you're gonna see is what I'm gonna be doing. I mean, I probably am gonna do it on my phone for the camera. I've practiced a couple ways like that. All right, so I'm gonna begin. Thank you. What happens when you go to the grocery store without a grocery list? You come home with all of the things that you didn't need and none of the things that you really needed, right? How many of you have planned a dream vacation or your idyllic wedding? We do this because we wish it to be perfect. Isn't our life as important as a grocery list? As I was contemplating these things and others, I ran into a long ago friend who was moving from the state of Maryland to the same city of Dallas, Texas that I was. He began to tell me about his April Fool's Day post. He had written 3 things as if they had already happened. First, he had relocated to the great state of Texas. Second, he had a great new high-paying job. And third, he had a beautiful new girlfriend. So once we got settled in, we met up for dinner, and I realized there we were in Dallas, Texas. He was telling me all about his great high-paying job, and I was reminding him that I was very much in love. Marketing studies show that we need to hear things 7 to 10 times before we take action upon them. I was running around telling everyone who would listen about my friend's great April Fool's Day Facebook post and how it worked out for him. When my girlfriend said, "Sounds like something you'd like to do." Who, me? Yeah, you. Yeah, sure, I'd like to do that. Then she said, "When will you do that?" The next day? Great. Can you text me and tell me when you're done? Sure, I'll do that. What time will that be? 5 p.m.? The next day was July 10th. I was on the beach with a couple of girlfriends having a couple of cocktails with this gnawing, nagging feeling in my gut as the sun was setting. Remembering my commitment and wondering why something I really wanted to do, I was having all of this resistance to. 4:45, I whipped out my phone. I typed 10 things I would like my life to look by year's end and texted her, "Done." Whew. There's a philosophy that says, if you read your goals aloud twice a day, they are more likely to come to fruition. And you'll get an even greater return if you share it with others. I forgot all about that philosophy and theory and even the list itself. Fast forward to Thanksgiving. I'm looking at my life and I'm so grateful for everything that has happened. And I remember the list. I whip it out and I start reading through it, and 6 of the 10 things that I had written had come to fruition. New Year's Eve has come and gone. Along with it, our New Year's Eve resolutions, the ones that you said to your family and they said, "Oh, that again?" I encourage you, if you have that kind of family and friend group, just write it like an April Fool's Day post and see what happens. When we get in our cars and program our GPS, we expect it to take us to our destination where we want to go. I also ask you to take the time to make your fantasies a reality by putting it in writing. That's it. Thanks, you guys.
All right, I'll start off. Love
Thank
the energy. Everything's good. Love the flow. Couple of things I didn't understand. One, is this your new boyfriend? I wasn't clear whether that was somebody else or whether that was if you were the new girlfriend on that story.
Oh, good question. Thank you.
Okay, so I wasn't clear on that. Loved how you brought all that together. Of course, probably a lot of us in this group, we believe in, you know, the affirmations and the dream book and the vision board and all that. Love, love, love. At the end, you need to work on a very strong, powerful ending, whether you want them to do something or, you know, you don't just abruptly hang it up. So who can give her something strong that she could end with? Maybe encourage them to do the same thing. Okay. Right now, within the hour, take your phone out. You know, that could be something right now. Right now, go to your phone, type 3 things you want to accomplish and send this to your best friend right now. You know what I'm saying? Something like that.
Yes, that's
Boom.
awesome. Thank you.
All right. Somebody else, go ahead. This is a
Stevie.
competition, so she needs some really good feedback.
Stevie,
Thank
I
you.
think you're introducing like 2 different metaphors, like the GPS and the grocery list. And I really like the grocery list. And so I think maybe to stick with that and then
That
home
okay.
again, right? Turn around, it's like, hey, so back to the grocery list, you know, like let's make a list for your life right now. And I think that would be a nice
Love
loop.
it.
Oh yeah, that would be a great way to tie that in at the end.
Yeah. For it being Toastmasters and you doing it virtually, you know, normally it's done on a stage. And so you have that background. So I would choose a background, whether it's a curtain that you just like put on a wall and stand in front of it so that you look as if you're on a stage. And then get a, like a little podium or something. It doesn't have to be seen where your props are. So you're not having to bend over and pick things up. You can just have it right there, like below the camera in front of you, where you can just grab it as you're looking at the camera. You did an excellent job at looking at the camera. I put you on speaker view and you were looking
Me
at
too.
the entire time. So that was
Yeah.
excellent. The energy was excellent. You didn't have any fillers. You had good breaks. You had good inflection in your voice. So all of those were excellent for that speech.
Thank you. I'm taking rapid fire notes, you guys. So thank you so much.
What are you going to wear, Stevie?
That's a really good question. That's why I got my hair done, because one of the
Yeah, it
feedback
looks
that I
great.
got was I look so washed out.
Well, it looks great.
I mean, that's a beautiful
Do you
color.
know
on
what
you.
your color? Yeah, so I was fixing to say the color is really good.
That pink or that red shirt would look really nice.
Yeah, and it'll definitely change when you have a background that's one solid color. And also the background will keep people focused on you and not on the picture back there or the doors or, you know, they're going to only be focused on you. And you'll be the bright, shiny, you know, in the camera view because of how you set up your background.
Thank you. So
Anybody else?
You guys.
I echo what everybody else said, but Stevie, what I like too is the fact of the accountability. When are you going to do this? And you know, follow up. And so it's all through about the follow up. Am I going to do it? When are you going to do it? What time are you going to do it? Are you going to send me a post? That kind of stuff. So that was really, really good. I like that.
Yeah, because we're all guilty. I mean, just like
Yep.
you said, we don't go deep enough. Okay, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Well, when tomorrow specifically? How am I gonna know you did it? And that's kind of like what we were saying, you know, here it's about accountability. Okay, now we are all vulnerable. We've put it out there. It's all on our chat. So we can go back and take a look and see what we've said. And anybody else have anything? Yes, go ahead, Richard.
Oh, she did an awesome job, but I'm thinking as a group, I mean, I'm willing to be vulnerable too, is put in some of my dream vision board, maybe a vision board here, or dream, make up our list and put it into the chat, share it with each other in this group. I think we're all safe, you know, and again, puts that energy into the group. And I think that'd be great for all of us, especially coming out of this, what we're coming through now.
Great idea. Great idea. I'll have a chance to, I'll put that in one of our Eagle newsletters. And so everybody can be prepped when they come and to do that. Love it.
So
Anybody
the
else?
only thing I'm going to ask Nancy, I just realized that this is going to go into the Facebook group. I just ask that you not put like Toastmaster or anything in like
Yep.
hashtags, because I don't want any of my competition to watch my speech.
Yeah, nope, not at all. Not, and I was going to tell you, I could actually cut it off if you didn't want that out there, but I think our group would love to watch you. So we'll put that out there. Yes, Balbeer.
Thanks,
I
everybody.
just want to say, I love that you stood up because your energy changed, and you probably have one of those desks that raise up or something. And so, yeah, I have one of those, and it makes it so easy. But when you're standing up, you just command, you just have a better presence. And I just love that. And reiterate what everybody else said. And at the end, yes, you need a good punchline.
And I'm glad you said that, because I have a problem when I'm on stage, because I run all over the place and do my hands, and she didn't do any of that. And that is something that now that you bring that up, that was pretty amazing that you didn't, because I talk with my hands. It's been so hard, and moving around. I've learned how, to kind of sit a little bit more still while we're on Zoom. Anything else? Well, we are finished up a little bit early. So if anybody else would like to share anything before we go.
I'm incredibly grateful. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Hope y'all have a fabulous Easter weekend. Remember the reason for the season, and love all you guys. Thank you so much for all that you do and all that you contribute to us. We are so grateful for all of you. Thank you.
And
Don't
Stevie,
forget to say in your chat.
write
Yes.
down that I won the Toastmasters
Yes,
contest, and start. That's one of your goals.
that's it. Affirmation.
Universe.
And when is this, Stevie?
So I've already passed one round. So this is round 2, and it will be Thursday, April 8th at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yep. There you go. Put it out, write it down, read it out loud twice a day.
Let's all say it. Congratulations, Stevie. We're so proud of you for winning.
Congratulations.
Yes. Woo! Go, Stevie.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
All right. Y'all have a great weekend. We'll see you soon.
Happy
everybody.
Easter.
Happy Easter.
Bye.
Happy holiday.
Yes.